This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
Get real.
You all ready for this? Dun 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 dun. No.
Y'all,
Just
this
stop.
is a sham. Brittany, you are stronger today. Did you like that?
Yes.
Welcome to Daily Blast Live. It's Thursday, September 30th. I'm Jeff here with my friends Al and Erica. So I pulled it off.
Hey.
You did.
Yeah.
Pulled it off pretty
It's
good.
a big day for
You
Brittany.
look great today. You guys look fantastic.
Thank you. So do you,
That's
brother.
to you.
Looking great.
No, come on. Look at Al.
We're kind of like you guys. I'm a blend of you two, black and gray. We all Kiri coordinated everything.
Erica's thinking what I'm thinking. All right, it's a huge victory for Britney Spears. Of course, we played it off the top. The 13-year conservatorship isn't over, but it could be by November. And Britney's father, Jamie Spears, is no longer in control of her life or her estimated $60 million estate. It's what Britney begged the judge to have happened earlier this summer. Here's what Britney's lawyer said after the judge's ruling.
Britney Spears has been faced with a decade-long nightmare, a Kafkaesque nightmare, orchestrated by her father and others. I'm so pleased and proud to say Jamie Spears is no longer a conservator.
So what do you think the secret to success is? She's been fighting this for years. Do you think it's the new lawyer or the pushback from social media or just time?
You know, I think about the R. Kelly survivor that we had on earlier this week, and she talked about the climate. And I think that's very important to acknowledge. Like, we are living in a totally different climate than we were living in 13 years ago, even than we were living in 5 years ago.
Absolutely.
Because honestly, none of this made sense. Just like that story was like, just next level in terms of R. Kelly, like this story was next level. We do not have the context or experience to really understand that something like this could actually be happening. So, you know, in hindsight, I think a lot of us, I know the media definitely got it wrong. I got it wrong personally. I mean, but how are you to know? Like, it made no sense. But now that we're on the other side of it, you know, I hope that this is beneficial to other people who might be in similar situations.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking about things are different than 5 years ago. I mean, we really are in an era where it's not really the police that are solving crimes. It's really documentaries like the R. Kelly, you know, where the public becomes aware and public pressure does a lot. When you watch movies and somebody is harassing the sheriff like, hey, you need to solve this murder, that's the incentive for the police to go out and get things done. Public pressure works. When they say pressure busts pipes, and it gets things done, it gets things moving that were otherwise stagnant. So I do think that although social media can go too far sometimes, it plays an important part in getting things done and pulling the covers off of things so that people can say, oh, this thing is happening with R. Kelly, this thing is happening at Penn State, or with our gymnasts, because that's been going on for how many decades?
Yeah.
So I hope that this is the first of many things that are exposed and then fixed.
Yeah, I think Erica's right when she said climate, right? I think people are more comfortable coming forward in different situations now more so than ever before, and I think that's what's helping out a lot of the cases like this.
When you hear this is such a common thing that that people who are oppressing or victimizing other people will say, like, who is going to believe you? And that's the it's not the truth in terms of no one is going to believe you, but people really rely on that silence. They rely on the idea that this is too fantastic in some respects for people to actually believe. And now we're in a different age of like, I know who's going to believe me. I can have an army of people behind me who believe me.
Well, speaking of silence, Katie Couric is not silent anymore. She will definitely go there. The former Today Show host is releasing a new tell-all memoir titled Going There, and she's spilling all the tea on several celebs. So first up, Martha Stewart. In the book, she blasts Martha, saying she required some healthy humbling to develop a sense of humor. She also talks about her first meeting with Prince Harry, saying the former prince was going through a wild oats sowing phase He was just sowing his royal oats.
That's right. Shout out Coming to America.
And the stench of cigarettes and alcohol seemed to ooze from every pore in his body. She also brings some serious allegations against the late Larry King, saying he, quote, lunged for her in his apartment and it reportedly involved his tongue and hands while she sat on the couch. I'm kind of wondering what made her kind of do this tell-all book. Were you guys questioning that?
That is the $1 million question.
Is it?
Why now? And I'm going to launch into Cobb's conspiracy theory.
Yes.
We need like a graphic here.
I know,
Yes.
like a, yeah.
Yes, just my wild, unfounded theories based on pop culture.
I like this segment.
This is the thing. I have been speculating about one of my favorite shows, The Morning Show, for quite some time. These stories have come up where they're now we know some of these claims and some of these stories have been substantiated by people who were actually in the know. I believe that there has been a team of people working behind the scenes to put real stories on this show, and my guess, one of them was Katie Couric. I think that whole
Almost
entire,
like Law and Order does.
Yes, the way that they go about the telling of these stories, there's too much of a ring of truth. When you watch something, you're like, I can see that because I actually saw that at a job that I had in 1999, or you did something like that. So these stories are coming from somewhere, and I think that just like the climate and people are ready to hear it, that's why she's coming forward now.
All right. Well, I have another segment. It's called Al's Deeply Rooted in Just Old School Marketing segment. It's not as catchy. It's not as catchy.
We're going to work on the title.
It's not
and
as
the
catchy
graphics.
as
We're gonna get
Erica's.
there.
But it is a question. If you worked with Matt Lauer and you're releasing a book, wouldn't you lead with a story or saying that this book contains stories about Matt Lauer rather than talking about Prince Harry smelling like cigarette smoke?
No, this is the amuse-bouche. Is that what it's called?
Mouche bouche?
Okay, apparently everybody knows what it's called except for me.
I know what it's going to be called from now on.
I don't know what it means, but I just shouted it
Yeah,
out.
this is the little, get your palate ready. We're going to get the appetizer.
Matt Lauer stories don't get your palate.
No, you can't come out with the main.
Yeah, then people would just want to buy it.
No, this is it's a tease, Al.
Okay.
It's a tease.
So if I was in Katie Couric's circle, I would be a little reluctant now to see how close I got to her. This is why, are you scared to go out with certain groups of people and be like, get wild or whatever?
Oh yeah, for sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, for sure. Oh no,
and
I trust no one.
I keep my circle super tight, even though no one's gonna write a book about me. I'm still nervous about someone just writing one story on the internet. I don't need that.
Yeah, it's it's a weird thing where now the first time I ever thought about it was when I saw Michael Phelps get pictured with him using the bong. Remember that?
Yeah.
And that was taken at a party by one of his friends, and I was like, there's no code anymore. Like somebody that knew him took that and sold that to TMZ, and I was like, if your friend can do that to you, that's it. It used to be like, hey, you're my buddy, let's burn this picture, and then I'll yell at you when we'll move on.
Right.
Now there's a financial incentive to snitch.
Al, what do you always say, buddy? Because I always tell my wife.
No new friends.
No new friends, homie.
No new friends, homie.
That's what I tell my wife all the time. Jordan's like, our neighbors down the street. I'm like, no new friends, homie. No new friends. Say that to my wife.
Straight up.
I love it.
Coming up on DBL, Drew Carey is here. What does he think is next for his friend
Cleveland
Mike Richards after the Jeopardy fallout? And Kyle Richards is clapping back at Lisa Vanderpump again. Uh-oh, Erica, you won't believe what she said on Watch What Happens Live last night. You're going to want to come back for this. Erica's got the tea. That's next.
Yes.
Closed captioning provided by
Michael Jean, our executive producer, is telling us what amuse-bouche means, and basically means amuse your mouth, if I'm hearing him correctly, which means like it's something that tastes really good, I guess. I don't know. Jeray, I don't know if you've ever been to like a super fancy restaurant, but when I go, I'm uncomfortable, and I feel like there's not enough food, and I can't enjoy it.
Every time.
I feel like you're at a food museum, and you're like almost like seeing art created, and you appreciate it, but you're like, somebody should tell you to eat food.
Yes.
You know?
Like I was in San Diego, and I was at like La Jolla Beach, and all those like cute little boutique restaurants up there off of the cliffs. If you don't know, it's a really cliffy, beachy area. And we went to dinner somewhere on set for another production that I was working on, and like I ordered this like pork thing, and I was gonna get all this food. Guess where I ended up like 30 minutes later? A taco stand.
Yes.
Because I was still hungry every single time.
I went to this restaurant. I was on a date, and I went to this restaurant in Los Angeles, and I didn't. This is like I never checked Yelp, and so I was like, the appetizers are expensive, but I'm getting them, and I'm like, okay, it'll be fine. I swear on my grandmother's life, like the tacos were like this big. I swear, and they were on a toothpick, but they had these big displays that they would come out, and I was like, we had to go to Burger King right after. The bill was like $200, and it was like Play-Doh food that like a kid would make out of the machine. And I was like, dude, it just seemed like a waste of money, and it.
Right.
I don't know.
But can we also talk about how Burger King stepped up in like the last like year or whatever?
They
and
really
like
did.
listed off 120 artificial flavors and whatnot. It's crazy amazing. Real good stuff.
I think Burger King sees a lane.
Yes.
They see a lane there. McDonald's went up in price. Burger King's like, we're going to stay there and stay natural. So shout out Burger King. And they got the Impossible Whopper.
Yo, and it's bomb.
It's good.
Welcome back to DBL. Kyle Richards is doubling down on the Lisa Vanderpump and Erica Jane drama. So here's the deal. Yesterday we told you how Lisa spoke to Daily Mail TV saying Kyle started the rumor about Erica's financial troubles at Andy Cohen's baby shower a couple years ago. But last night Kyle spoke her truth while on Watch What Happens Live with Andy Cohen. Let's watch.
Andy, I would never say something like this, ever, but one could argue perhaps that maybe her memory is fading along with her relevance because she wasn't even at the baby shower.
She's British?
No.
Why is she talking
LVP?
like that?
She's basically, see, people are saying that she was mocking LVP, which she was, but Kyle is the one who outed LVP for
Lisa
selling
Vanderpump.
the story, right, to a tabloid about something that happened with the dog.
Oh, so she was mocking
Right.
Lisa Vanderpump. Oh, I got it. I'm up
But
to date.
also, according to Kyle, Lisa was not telling the truth. So my best guess is that Kyle isn't telling the truth and she's acting like Lisa, like, if you can do it, then I can do it too. I still believe that Kyle is, I believe it. Bethany Frankel said it, okay? First of all, let me just be very clear, because I know people they come for me sometimes when I talk about housewives.
How dare they?
I don't really care. What I care about is the storyline.
Right.
Not the people. I mean, the people aren't real to me. The
They're interchangeable, right?
Right. The storyline is what's real, and I am fully committed to the storyline. Kyle is not telling the truth. She is the one that leaked it at the baby shower. And now she's acting like, this is what bothers me, okay? She's acting like she's all besties with Erica Jane. Her and Lisa Rinna. Everybody has a Kyle Richards, Lisa Rinna friend where they act like they're besties with you and they smile and kiki all up in your face, and then behind the scenes they're spreading rumors about you. Watch those friends.
I would say
watch those friends.
I would say
homie.
yes, no new friends, and I would say that everything that Erica just said, although we're talking about these glamorous, amazing people, I think everybody has a storyline like that somewhere in their neighborhood, their next door neighbor, because let's be honest, there's a little competition. Oh, you guys got a pool, we got this. Oh, you guys redid your driveway, we redid our basement. There's levels, and everybody's got this couple. Maybe it's your next door neighbor that's really good at cutting his grass, so you get good at pruning your tree. Oh, he made his kid a tree house. Okay, well, we're gonna do an entire play set. There's competition everywhere, and so this makes a lot of sense to me.
I was just going to see how far you were going to go down the landscaping.
I was completely out of examples.
I was like, they clean their gutters, so you got a trash can.
See, Jeff, I don't know if if your neighbor pulled up in a brand new Corvette, would you feel any like, I need to look at a new car?
Dude, no.
No?
I'm not. I get mocked for my car at the grocery store. I told you. I don't care about cars and stuff.
I love it.
I think that must be a Chicago thing. I don't care about cars either.
Yeah,
Humble
it's not a big
Midwesterner.
deal.
I really don't.
I don't care. All right, coming up on DBL, The Price is Right. is the longest-running game show in history. Drew Carey shares the secret to its success.
You said that like a villain. The price is
We all know
It's
that
scary.
movement is like medicine, but getting the movement.
First, let's take a look at Social Security checks. Luckily, those aren't impacted by a shutdown. Since Social Security, Medicare, and Medicaid are all tagged as mandatory spending, the payments aren't affected. What is, though, you won't be able to get approved for new benefits or a new Social Security card during a shutdown. Next, there's food stamps. Folks who get money from SNAP, child nutrition, or programs for women, infants, and children will keep getting help at the beginning. Stopgap bills only keep the program funded for the first 30 days of a shutdown. If it lasts longer than that, those benefits run out. So how long could it last? The longest government shutdown was 35 days, and it was a partial shutdown, lasting from December 2018 through January 2019. It centered around the debate over former President Trump's border wall. The government has shut down 20 times since budget processes were updated in 1976. Most happened over a weekend. There have only been 4 shutdowns where some part of the government stopped operating for more than one business day. If the government does shut down on Friday, it will be a full shutdown as it stands this morning. Hundreds of thousands of government workers would get furloughed. Essential government employees would still have to go to work, but they would not get paid until after the government reopens. And that's connecting the dots.
Welcome back to DBL. The Price is Right has been telling people to come on down for 50 years now. Earlier, we spoke with Drew Carey about what it was like to fill Bob Barker's shoes. Plus, we asked him about his friendship with Mike Richards. That's today's Chatting with the Stars.
Drew Carey, welcome to DBL. Hello, how you doing?
Great. Your background's a lot better than my background.
We like beige. You look great in beige. You've been hosting The Price is Right for 14 years, replacing the legend that is Bob Barker. I want to know what your greatest fear was about taking his spot, and what was some advice maybe he gave to you when you took over the show? Was it holding the skinny mic? Because that's a big deal.
Bob's advice to me was to make the show my own.
Danielle, I like how your shirt says, "I got this," but you kept turning around going, "What do I do?"
And not try to copy him, which is really good advice.
Yeah.
But, I was a stand-up comic for so many years. And when I hit the stage doing stand-up comedy, I don't worry too much about who was just on the stage or who was there last week. My time is my time. And I kind of had that attitude where, I felt like I had to go out there and show what I could do. And if people liked it, they liked it. And if they didn't, they didn't.
People just staring at me. It's okay. People laugh at me all the time because I look like that guy from the ad in the back of the comic books for X-ray specs.
I had a really good advice from a comic I worked with when I was starting out. And the advice was that you have to care enough not to care.
I'm getting that tattooed on my butt. I want that tattoo.
We're gonna take that with us because people just look at me and say, "You are no Oprah," and I'm okay with that.
Why do they have to compare you to the greatest of all time?
Well, it's a black woman on TV. What can we say?
There can only be two.
Well, Drew, speaking of legendary hosts, one of my favorite shows, other than The Price is Right, which I have to give a shout out to Big Mama because I watch just to honor her because I'm just
Big
that much.
Mama.
It brings me all the feels. So, but Jeopardy, is still trying to find a replacement for Alex Trebek. So we were talking about comparisons, and we know that you're friends with Mike Richards, who seems to have a little bit of a setback season happening. Do you think that there is a comeback in the works for him?
You know what? It's going to take. He's going to need some time, away from the storm of it all. you know? And then once that dies down, like, absolutely, he's young and he's very talented. He's a great producer. Like, there's no doubt about that. His producing skills are amazing, and he'll have a really good second act, let's say, or third act, whatever you want to call it. And he's going to have a good future ahead of him. And it's just I don't know. I can't defend like the podcast stuff or anything he did, but he was a really good producer on The Price is Right.
I've been to a taping of The Price is Right. I've been doing comedy for 15 years, so like my ideal day is not to go to a taping, but I ended up going because we do the show. I ended up going because one of my buddies taught himself how to speak English by watching The Price is Right in the Dominican Republic. We went, and the energy was crazy. Yeah.
Yeah. I hear that a lot, by the way, from people, and it always blows my mind that really happens. And I apologize for my bad grammar.
Drew, The Price is Right is the longest running game show in television history, so it's got to be cool to be a part of that. But it brings people together. Big Mama watches it. My mama watches it. Al's mama watches it.
My Jewish grandma.
Jewish grandmother watches it. Why do you think viewers love it so much?
Well, for one thing, like nowadays, it's like this little lake of tranquility and happiness in this sea of despair that's on TV. It's not the news. It's not people yelling about the news or talking about the news. It's not a steamy soap opera. Not that there's anything wrong with it, but like you're not going to watch that with your kid, you know, and it's not for everybody. So it's just like this nice, fun, don't have to worry about it thing.
Welcome to the show, everybody.
Thank you, Drew. DBL Nation, this is crazy. You can catch the 50th season that's almost as old as Al.
Sadly, it's not even a joke.
It is not a joke. On CBS Daily. I really thank you so much, Drew Carey.
Drew, that was awesome, man.
Thank you. Bye.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
States is experiencing an emergency blood and platelet shortage. Verify viewer Anna asked, is it true that blood supplies are becoming limited due to people receiving coronavirus vaccines? Let's verify. Our sources are the Chief Executive Officer of America's Blood Centers, Kate Fry-Cicero, and American Red Cross Regional Executive Angela Broom-Powley, who says the COVID-19 vaccine has nothing to do with the nationwide blood shortage.
Individuals are encouraged to get the vaccines, and then they can still give. Even if you receive the vaccine, you can come in and give. We just encourage you to know which one you received, because we'll ask a few questions around that.
In an email to Verify, America's Blood Centers CEO listed several reasons for the blood shortage, including staffing challenges, increased hospital demand for blood, and limited access to on-site locations for blood drives. Powley adds that the new school year and people heading back to the office also play a part in the shortage.
We have found that donors have been distracted, and we're about 10% lower in our donor turnout than is normal at this time. The lowest numbers we've seen during the fall since 2015.
So we can verify that this is false. The blood shortage is not due to people receiving the COVID-19 vaccine. With your Verify, I'm Ariane Till.
Everyone is talking about DBL. And year 5 is going to be big. I cannot wait. Bold debates.
You're canceling people.
That says a lot. Hot celebs.
Look, we treat everything as a joke.
Thank you very much, Sean Stamos.
Just turn up the notch on that. Enjoy.
And all the laughs.
Awesome. I love it. Let's do it. Yes.
DBL is always all new every day.
Welcome back to DBL. Earlier, Steph showed me some awesome products from our friends at Morning Save. And if you want to save some serious coin, you don't want to miss this. Check it out. All right, Steph, so what do you have for us today?
Hey, Jeff, I've got some wonderful products and even better deals, and I cannot wait to share them with you. So first up, we're bringing a salon blowout to you with the Bellezza Volumizing Blowout Brush. So normally, this is really pricey. It's $250, but you can get only one for $39, saving up to 84%. Now, this is a staple as well, especially for some of you that are working from home. We've got the Aduro U-Lite Groove Desktop Lamp Organizer and wireless speaker. So it's 3-in-1. It's a desktop lamp organizer that also is a wireless speaker and a mobile phone stand. So normally it's as much as $70, but we can give it to you, one for $19, which means you're saving 73%. Now this next item might have you skipping the chiropractor. It's a Fine Life compact power massager. So it'll give you a really deep tissue massage for rapid muscle tension relief. So normally it's as much as $100, but now it's one for $39, saving up to 61%. And last but certainly not least, we've got the Liberate Skin Solutions bundle with pore vacuum and skin scrubber. And the pore cleanser draws out built-up impurities from the skin so you can stop picking and prodding with your dirty little fingers and use this. So normally it's as much as $80 or $40 for the scrubber and $40 for the vacuum, but now it's $25, saving up to 69%.
Head on over to morningsave.com to snag these amazing deals at the lowest prices. You can even visit morningsave.com on your smartphone. Thanks again, Steph.
Okay. Our fact checkers have come forward and let me know that Cobb's conspiracy theory might be right. Matt Lauer is in Katie Couric's book. You want to know what's consistent with that? Watch season 2, episode 2 of The Morning Show. I told you so.
Oh. Her segment's way better than yours.
I know. I got to work on the title.
I need a jingle. You guys do every day. We'll see you guys tomorrow.